Okay, guys, we are back again. Debbie Duncan, Jay's mum, has given an exclusive interview. This one's extremely interesting. It gives us more pieces to work with, and we are able to connect more dots. A massive shout out to Crime Stories Obsessed. We are going to be reacting to their video. Make sure you subscribe to their channel. Link can be found in the description. But the exclusive interview with the Sun is extremely compelling. We are going to look at parts of that interview in this video, so don't go anywhere, because there are some parts that jump out to me, and it looks like there could be more to this than meets the eye. So let's check this out.
Your son won't be coming back. He owes us enough effing money. Kiss goodbye to him.
Now, that message was sent to Debbie the moment she got off a plane in Tenerife at 8 a.m. in the morning. Within a space of a few hours, she receives that message. In fact, it's 12 hours since Jay's gone missing. So at that point, there's no trolls. No one's really involved. However, what I found out through watching this exclusive interview with the Sun is that message wasn't sent through Snapchat. That message was sent via WhatsApp. Now, whoa, guys, how could that have message been sent via WhatsApp? It means someone would have had Jay's phone to get access to Debbie's phone number, or that person already had Debbie's phone number. The trolls come after, and that confused the whole situation to the point where they've kind of forgotten about that first message, thrown it in the bin as if it was a troll initially. But you have to be real. Why would anyone be trolling her 12 hours after Jay had disappeared?
Oh, as we know, Jay Slater's remains were found at the bottom of a ravine in Tenerife recently. He was flown back to the UK, and now his mother has given a statement saying that she had received thousands of pictures, messages, videos, including disgusting mock-ups of her son being tortured. One of the letters she received said, "Dear Mrs. Duncan, why go all that way? For all that fuss for a young man who's a druggie and behaved so badly in court, laughing and joking? Believe it or not all young men behave that way. I've brought up 3 young men now, and they're all in their 20s. They're decent, no drinking, no smoking. They've all been to university, and the main thing, properly brought up. What will you now?"
I mean, that's a disgusting message to send to a mum that's just lost her son or had her son missing. It's really, really awful. And I don't know what's going through people's minds to actually put together a letter of that nature to send to a woman that has just lost her son or is in search of a missing son. That just doesn't make any sense.
Do with all that money foolishly donated by idiots who respond to your begging and GoFundMe? Stupid. No doubt we will never be told.
Just to mention, Debbie has confirmed that she knew nothing about the GoFundMe. It was all on Lucy that set that GoFundMe up. You know, she only found out about the GoFundMe a few hours or a few days after it had been set up.
She revealed that she'd been sent that sick handwritten letter last week, criticising her for organising her son's funeral. Debbie has reported some of the messages to the police, and she's vowed to campaign for tougher laws on trolling.
I mean, the trolling is absolutely absurd. I don't know why it happens. It was just there was no need for it. It's absolutely disgusting behavior from people online. I don't condone it. I wasn't a part of it. Any part I've had to play in this is to understand what's happened to Jay. It's to find justice for Jay. The official narrative doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of holes in the official narrative. Therefore, we need to look into this further. Another thing we have to mention is that Lucy created a GoFundMe asking for public help, public support. They also wanted social media support. Now, in order for us to help find Jay, we need to investigate. We need to look at everything that there is to look at. And now we've looked at a lot of what there is to look at. It doesn't sit right with hundreds and hundreds of us. Now, you can't then say, well, you're spreading conspiracies, you're spreading this, you're doing that. Well, firstly, I'm not. I'm just getting information that's already online and trying to make sense of it. You can't come at people from that angle and tell people, stop talking about it. You're not allowed to talk about it. You can't voice your opinion on it, when initially the family as well as the friends asked us for our support and for our help. So therefore, on that basis, it becomes a public matter. Now it's just about managing it and making sure that people aren't continuing to troll, people aren't continuing to abuse, because that is what has affected the family. That is what is affecting the family, and it's absolutely disgusting.
Now, she said that when she and Jay's brother Zach touched down in Tenerife, her phone pinged with the first sick message. One message that she received on her phone said, "I'll give you one warning. Your son won't be coming back."
Now that's crazy for her to receive that. "I'll give you one warning, your son won't be coming back." This is the moment she lands off a plane. This is like the first day, more or less, being in Tenerife. At this point, you would think the trolls are maybe putting together videos and they're in the process of uploading those videos onto TikTok and all of that stuff. But to directly call this lady, to directly send messages to this lady, in fact, Debbie also confirms that Jay sent a message into a WhatsApp group, and people are thinking, "Bro, why is Jay putting this message into the group?" And then she alludes to the fact that someone could have had Jay's phone. So this is not looking good when you think about everything that we've already spoken about, all the evidence that's there, all of the bits of information that's already on the table. It makes it look worse.
He owes us enough effing money. Kiss goodbye to him. Debbie said that this first message about not seeing her son again, kiss goodbye to him because he owes us a lot of money, made her think, well, what's going on here? Just arrived in Tenerife, like, what the hell? Debbie started to panic. Now, this message was the first, but it was the first of thousands.
Exactly. And that's why they decided to not take that message seriously, and they assumed it was a troll. But I think otherwise. I think that message was serious. And then after that, there was a domino effect of just trolls and messages and all of this stuff that started taking place. And I think that also gave legs for the cover up
that Debbie and the family have been apparently subjected to. Now, Debbie spoke to a newspaper named The Sun. She gave an interview and spoke about the trolling that she'd received that started soon after she arrived in Tenerife. Now, Jay was 19. He went missing on the 7th.
Who's that? Is that Ayab? That's Ayab and Jay. That does look like Ayab and Jay to me, boy.
17th of June. Now, a relative of Lucy had posted a missing poster of Jay on Facebook on the day he vanished and included Debbie Duncan's phone number on the appeal in a well-meaning act. But that had devastating consequences for Debbie. Having her telephone number in that, which was, I'm sure, as Lucy put it, there because of tips for anyone that wanted to donate or for anyone that had tips on where Jay could be. But Debbie then started getting a lot of trolls, nasty people reaching out to her, telling her things like, "Why are you bothering looking for your son?"
Was people in London really trolling Debbie? Was people in Brighton or people in Portsmouth, were they really picking up the phone or trolling Debbie? Or was it more likely to be people in the Blackburn area, the Lancashire area? Were they the people that were actually trolling her? I mean, we've got kind of information from the lady that went down to the funeral, and she said that a lot of the lads she come across at that funeral needed a lot of growing up to do.
Doesn't deserve it. She's received vile troll letters.
Guys, if you are finding value in this video and you want to buy me a cup of coffee, click on that thanks button down below. Much appreciate every single one of you.
Documenting how Jay was caught up in this gang attack. We've heard about that with Tom Hilton. Now, Jay Slater's mum insists that claims that her son stole a watch, any type of watch, in the early hours of the morning just before he went missing in Tenerife are nothing more than callous rumours.
So that's callous rumour, she says. But we know that that picture was put on his Snapchat. So how did that picture get put on his Snapchat? Why would that picture get put on his Snapchat?
He said he would never be involved in anything like that, in stealing a watch. He'd only been in Tenerife for 3 days. He was enjoying himself with friends at a festival which had wristbands, security and itinerary. I've no idea where these drug stories come from, and all that stuff about him stealing watches is nonsense, she said.
The drug stories have obviously come from the fact that they're connected to Ayub, and Ayub is the guy that has a criminal conviction of drugs. The drug story also comes from Mark Thomas, who claims that he believes the Jay disappearance could have been linked to the drug underworld. So that's where the drug element of this come from. And you also have that image of Jay losing the bag or giving the bag away. And it's clear that's exactly what he's doing. Now, we don't know at this point what was in that bag, whether it was drugs, whether it was money, whether it was even personal valuables of someone else's or everyone's that was just all compiled into one bag that he was holding, and someone robbed him. And that means everybody's phone could have gone missing, or the people that were theirs phone, or whatever valuables they had in that bag could have gone missing. We don't know what was in that bag, but what we do know is someone took that bag off Jay, or Jay gave that bag away. That is what we do know. Since that footage, we have never seen Jay. No one has seen Jay. There's no other footage that has come out since then that proves Jay was seen after that moment. And even when The Sun do their exclusive interview with Debbie, they keep showing that image. They keep showing that footage, different parts of that footage. So they know, the press, the media know that something dodgy happened in that footage, but it's not being mentioned, it's not being spoken about, that are trying to find out by asking certain questions about certain situations. But they can't really be forceful with their interrogation because it's an exclusive interview for you to kind of give your say on the matter. But they'll try and ask a question that will allow them to head in a certain direction. Whether they get the answers that they're looking for is a different story, but that's how the media would work. We still have many unanswered questions.
This GoFundMe was set up by Lucy. She didn't know anything about it until the fund was already established.
There we go. So the money was already building up in a GoFundMe account before it was brought to Debbie's attention.
She said that she's been in regular contact with a liaison officer at GoFundMe to outline what the money is being used for. Initially, the search was plagued by false sightings of Jay, including someone saying that they'd seen him watching an England match in Santiago del Tegue in Tenerife. Debbie said that the first week was a complete blur. I was in a hotel room in Tenerife and looking for Jay, and I was getting terrorized by all these people sending me messages, sending messages to my personal telephone number. They were calling and saying, you know what Jay's done. He's done this, he's done that. Some people were screaming Jay's name down the phone and saying that he'd been stabbed on a beach. Oh my gosh, she said the theories were unreal, but it certainly made her mind race. She was like, what on earth is happening? There were people saying that he was chained up. He was in a hole. She said, it's absolutely disgusting. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. The torment that I've had to go through, and I'm still going through. I'm guessing she's changed her telephone number now. Now, Debbie did admit that her and the family were sucked into some of the conspiracy theories, especially after receiving the message as soon as she got to the airport in Tenerife and landed on the plane, stating, we have your son, kiss goodbye to him, he owes us money.
Now, I'm thinking at that point, the reason why that message could have been sent is because whoever sent it already knew that Jay was dead.
She said, we were sucked into these conspiracy theories. And she desperately clung to hope that Jay was still alive. And in a heartbreaking admission, Debbie said, I wanted to believe that he had been chained up, because at least if that was the case, then he was still breathing somewhere. I wanted to believe that he had been kidnapped, because I knew then he was being held. And I thought, well, that means he's alive. As horrible it was, I just thought, well, he's breathing somewhere. We were sucked into it, she said. Debbie, who had found Jay's passport and travel money in his apartment.
So his passport and travel money was in his apartment. How did they identify him when they found the body then?
On arrival in Tenerife, knew he would not be abroad anywhere else without telling her. She said he had his things in the room, he wasn't planning to go anywhere, his passport was there, his money was there. And the idea of him watching a match without the Euros in a bar was ridiculous, she said. So she knew that that theory was off the table. He would never do anything without telling me. He loved his family, and I don't remember a time that he was uncontactable.
So she doesn't remember a time he was uncontactable, ladies and gentlemen. So why didn't he contact his mum when he was missing in the mountains? Why didn't he contact his brother or his dad? I mean, the way Debbie is putting it across is like, there is no way Jay would have went to those mountains, decided to walk through that ravine without contacting me first. He would have let me know that he would have been doing that. He would have contacted his brother. He would have contacted his dad. But he contacted none of those guys. The only people he contacted was Lucy and Brad.
She also added that there was a video of somebody digging a hole in the beach, and it looks like they've dragged a body into this hole, and people were saying it's Jay, it's Jay. I mean, me personally, I'm wondering if they were just trying to be helpful, but it's not really what family want to hear in circumstances when their relatives missing. She said, I had to sit and go through all of the trouble, all of the effort, and it just ripped me apart. Now, police did have to investigate one message, and it was the message from a 15-year-old Brit who contacted Debbie to claim that he had killed Jay, and the police had to investigate this. Debbie Duncan said, people are still making money out of videos from Jay on TikTok, and it's just wrong. There needs to be tougher laws, and social media companies should be doing more. But all I can say to that is 73,000. What do you think to what Debbie Duncan is saying here?
Now let's quickly switch over, listen to a few parts of the interview. These are very, very compelling. Let's check this out.
I can't even remember what it on the WhatsApp
message. Yeah.
A WhatsApp message. You'll never see your boy again. He owes me all this money. And I thought, well, what is going on here? We've only just arrived in Tenerife, and like, what the hell?
Exactly. She just landed in Tenerife and instantly receives a message like that. And you're telling me that's a troll? That's someone that's out to troll?
Look like Jay he's got something wrapped around his neck, that he's all beaten. I mean, somebody got sent a video, and somebody sent it to the Spanish police, actually, of a young lad being beaten. The Spanish police actually did act upon that, but it wasn't Jay.
Oh.
If I'd have took everything.
It's so weird how they keep showing you that footage. You can clearly see Jay handing over a bag to that guy.
Single one on board, I'd probably be in a bloody locked up in a padded cell by now. There were one that got reported, but it was just a young kid who lived miles and miles away. And I've got the letter there, and I just think, is there any point now? Just loads of messages, just making his own story up, really, about Jay, that he'd been murdered, and he made out that it were him that had
Pushed him.
Yeah. I would love
Did you hear that?
I'd love to be.
Pushed him. He said pushed him. And that was the brother, Zach. So someone sent them a letter and basically said they had killed Jay and they had pushed him. And then they found out it was a 15-year-old kid.
I mean, whoever thought it were a good idea to start all these pages, Facebook pages, Jay Slater missing, Jay Slater discussions, Jay Slater this, Jay Slater that. They just, do they not have jobs? I don't know.
I think that's a bit out of order. Those platforms are clearly created to help find Jay. He was missing for 29 days. And Lucy and yourself at these points would have been asking for as much help and support as you can possibly get. So off the back of that, we had multiple platforms that were set up to help find Jay. And I think that's a bit rude of her to actually respond in that manner, if I am being honest.
The money is still sat there, and I'm scared of even touching it, which I were right from the beginning. And they've had to kind of reassure me that, you know, these people donated because they wanted to donate, because Jay obviously touched the hearts of the nation, and they wanted to help his family, which they have helped his family, because obviously we stayed in Tenerife for 6 weeks. We all came out, we all funded everything, because we obviously didn't know what were ahead of us. But yeah, we've had to use some for accommodation and to stay there for all that time, getting up to the capital, to the police station, going up to the funeral place. Obviously, we've got.
So she's basically admitting that they were spending the money instantly. So in this part of the interview, which we're not really going to delve into, basically this is in regards to the Tom Hilton situation, and she's claiming that she took Jay to the police station to make a statement about what happened to Tom Hilton. She also claims that there was 20 people involved. Only 8 was arrested, and it was a whole year later she found out that Jay was one of the 8, which didn't make sense to her because she said and she claims that Jay was just a bystander. He didn't do anything. In those type of scenarios, it's usually people that are willing to tell tales or snitch that would do such a thing. I'm not saying that's what Jay done, but you know, anything could have happened. And in fact, that whole scenario could have led to there being more upset, more uproar between the people that were involved, and some people might have fallen out over that part.
Been mentioned was another snap thing which Jay apparently sent to Lucy, which was a snap saying that he'd stolen a 12 grand watch.
There were apparently 2 pictures of Jay. One, when you look at it, well, when I look at it as his mother, it was like, was he even conscious?
Was he even conscious? Was he even conscious? Meaning, was he even alive? Was he even knowing what was going on? Was someone holding him up at that point?
It's dark. He's got a pair of sunglasses on. There's a caption across his mouth saying stolen AP watch. I don't know where that came from.
Exactly. But that was put on his Snapchat. So whoever put that on his Snapchat had access to his phone at that point. She believes, looking at that picture, she doesn't even think he was conscious. So what was he, sleeping? Was he knocked out?
There's a picture of a still of Jay with this caption about an AP watch. That's, you can see his arms up. You can't see his hand. You can see his arm. You see a little bit of his hand. There's no watch on his wrist, by the way. And then there's another, I don't know how many seconds it is, of not Jay, but a guy driving a car with another caption, stolen a Rolex watch. And then apparently this was posted into a chat back in the UK. And they were all like, what the hell's, you know, what's this that Jay's just put in our group chat randomly?
What's this that Jay has just put in our group chat randomly? So again, indicating that someone had Jay's phone.
Tenerife. There were no other conversation, just this quick few second snap. So I have no idea what that's about, or was there somebody else sat outside of him with his phone? I've no idea.
Exactly. So did someone else sit beside him with his phone? So that was a really interesting interview, ladies and gentlemen. It does give us more information. It connects more of our dots, as we do know. Who put that video in the WhatsApp group? Who contacted Debbie the moment she got off the plane? And why? I mean, why? So many unanswered questions. Guys, comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling right now. I need you to hit that like button. Do subscribe to this channel if we are new. Make sure we turn the notification bells on. We've got more videos dropping today as well. You don't want to miss out on those. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.